Hey y'all, welcome back to Summertime Tarot. If you're new to the channel, my name is Summer, and this is part two, hey, of the video about ancestor altars, okay? In this video, we're mainly going to be talking about, setting up your altar, right? In the first one, we discussed just a little bit of something when it comes to ancestor altars, okay? Now, when it comes to setting up your altar, it's really simple, right? You don't need a lot. Right? If you want to be extravagant, by all means, do it, okay? If you want to be simple, you can do that too. I'm mainly going to show you a simple way, right? Simple, very minimalist, right? The basics. And then from there, you can figure out what you want to do. Your ancestors will guide you. Now, the main things that you want on your altar, right? You want some candles, or at least one candle, right? You want the elements, right? You want fire, water, air, and earth, okay? Now, there are like a multitude of ways that you can go about doing that. You can incorporate stones or crystals that represent those elements, or you could just be simple, right? You could get you, okay. Let me just go ahead and show you an example. All right, y'all. So this is an example of like a basic altar setup, right? We have our water. We have our fire, right? Our candle. We have earth, right? It's a crystal, but we also have earth here with our wood, right? Then we have our air with the incense, okay? Now, then we have our fruit, right? That's an offering to the ancestors. You dig what I'm saying? So it's really simple, right? Now, to go on from this, you can add, pictures of your ancestors or trinkets, things that they may like, right? Also, right, going back to what we talked about in the first video, you feel what I'm saying? Look what we got here. We got some candy, right, for the ancestors. Boom, right? Then you can also have your offerings where you get your plate of food, right, whatever you're eating, right? Now you may ask, what? Oh my gosh, okay. Right, and this is something that you may actually see. You may actually see, really, you may actually see that your kids or your animals kind of gravitate towards your altar, which is a good sign. You get what I'm saying? It's a good sign. So now, when it comes to food offerings, right, you may ask, well, what should or should not give to the ancestors, right? Basically, the general rule is if you wouldn't eat it, don't place it on the altar, right? If it's something that you like, they probably gonna like it too, right? So you go ahead. If you make dinner and you're feeling kind of lovey-dovey, hey, put it on the altar for the ancestors. Now, something I've noticed is you may find yourself dropping food. This is another sign that, hey, your ancestors, they may want to offer, you dig what I'm saying? If you haven't been spending time at your altar, you may find that, you're feeling a little off. That's a good sign. It may be time for you to just, sit down, sit at your altars, spend some time with your ancestors, right? If you want to know, how often you should go to your altar, right? It's not really a rule for that, right? If it's basically just making it a part of your spiritual practice. This could be an everyday thing. This could be 2 times a day. This could be 3 times a day, right? However you're feeling, okay? But keep it consistent, basically. Do your best to keep it consistent. When it comes to your offerings, try and do it consistently. If you start doing it weekly, right, continue to do it weekly. If it's something that you only do once in a blue moon, hey, okay, that's cool. But maybe try and see if you can make your offerings a little bit more regularly. Going to the different sides of your family, right? So your mother's side, your father's side, you may want to make separate altars for them, but you don't listen, this is, as I said, this is just from my experience. You don't really have to. But if that's something that you feel called to do, go right ahead. When it comes to including folks on your altar, you may question whether or not you should put them on there. The general rule is, if, you know, they're good people, put them on the altar. If they want that, great. Listen, hey, I don't know about that, okay? You know what I mean? But that's really up to you, you know? This is a part of your spiritual journey, your spiritual practice. I can't tell you how to do that. I can only offer you insight from my own practice, okay? But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide how you want to do you, okay? Now, let me see, anything else, right? Just make sure that you're keeping up with your altar, right? Make sure that you are being aware of, like, your offerings. Like, if you put food on there, right, don't keep it that long. I usually change out, you know, a plate of food, right? Don't let it stay there for longer than a day. That's just my thing, right? I don't want, that's kind of gross to me, right? Make sure that you're checking on your fruit. You're not letting it, you know, get all moldy and gross on the altar. Make sure that you're offering, you know, clean water. You can also, you know, bring your ancestors coffee each morning, or however frequently you decide. Yeah, but you can say your prayers at your altar, do your meditation, all that good stuff. It's just really about, you know, spending time with and keeping that connection and that bond, allowing it to grow with your ancestors, spending time with them, honoring them, sending them love and all the good vibes and stuff, right? You can also burn, you know, ancestor money at your altar if that's something that you're into. But generally, right, you want to keep your ancestor altar separate from anything else, right? So if you have like a working altar or altars for other entities, basically, you know, like gods, goddesses, all that good stuff, right? Don't put that on your ancestor altar, right? That's something separate. This is just for your ancestors. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like a room. That's kind of how I think of it, right? It's a room, right? You know, you got in your house, y'all got separate rooms, you know. You got rooms for the kids, right? You usually have separate rooms for the kids. You got rooms for the parents, okay? So it's kind of like that. Your ancestor altar, your ancestor altar is a room in and of itself, right? It's specific. It's specifically for your ancestors and your ancestors only, okay? And then when it comes to, you know, working with other deities and all that good stuff, they have their own room, okay? So anything that you use on your ancestor altar, I would say keep it for your ancestor altar, right? Anything that you want to use in your practice, right? Your workings, all that good stuff, keep that for your workings, okay? Anything that you have for these deities and all that good stuff, keep that for them, okay? Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you don't want nobody wearing your drawers. That kind of listen, I joke all day. But anywho, right? You don't want nobody wearing your little intimates. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. So also, right, something that I didn't have enough space on my little wooden board, right, to put on your ancestor altar, right? You can put flowers, right? Flowers are always good. Living things, right? Are always good. You can do flowers. I personally, right, I started with flowers, but then found that I really preferred just to have a plant that I water, right? That kind of represents my relationship with the ancestors, right? I kind of feed it every day. I can sit with it, right, as if I'm sitting with the ancestors. I really love that. So that's an option. You can either do, you know, pick you up some flowers from wherever, or you can actually get a plant that you dedicate to your ancestors, okay? Also, right, you can have you a Bible or whatever kind of holy book that your ancestors used within their lifetime, right? Have that on your altar, whatever kind of trinkets or faith statues, whatever that they associated with or maybe work with as they lived here on earth, you can place that on your altar, right? It's for them, right? Just remember that, right? It's a space for your ancestors, but also it's a space for you to connect with them. So don't be afraid to like place things there that you like, right? Because at the end of the day, they're going to guide you. They're either going to be like, hey, I don't really like this, take it down, or not. You feel what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to like experiment, try some things, put things there that you think they will like, that you appreciate in some way, right? They're going to appreciate it too. It may not stay there, right? It's okay. You can switch up, you can change up your altar, right? That's good. So like if you don't have pictures of your ancestors, or you want to represent an ancestral side or part of your lineage that maybe you don't know about, or like you don't have pictures for them, you don't know their names, and you want to represent them, you can, you know, get statues, right, that represents them or that connects to their background, their culture, y'all's culture. You feel what I'm saying? Also, right, if you don't have pictures but you know their names, right, you can start an ancestor book. You can write down their names, and keep that on your altar, right? And so when you go to your altar, you can call on them by name, or if not, you can just say, you know, something like ancestors, both known and unknown, named and unnamed, right? That wish to work with me for my highest and greatest good, right? Call on them in that way, or you can call on them by name, right? Starting with the names that you do know, okay? Also, right, you can leave liquor, right? Whatever, I said that's so strange. You can leave liquor, alcohol, whatever they partook in while they lived here on earth, the things that they liked, right? Feel free to place that on your altar for them. Remember, it's for them, right? So tobacco, cigarettes, cigars, alcohol, whatever kind of alcohol they like, whatever kind of tobacco they liked, whatever they liked, put it on the altar for them, okay? Oh yeah, and then you can place like the tools, right, that you use to maybe like commune with them. So like if you do tarot or like you divine in some way, you can place the items that you use specifically for them, right, that you want them to bless or you want their energy on. You can place that on your altar, right? You can write poetry for them. You can create things for them, right? It doesn't always have to be something that was bought. You can create things for them. You can write poems, you can draw pictures, whatever it is, right? This is for them. This is basically, you know, a space for you and for them to connect, to spend time together. So if, you know, you want to draw something for them or write something for them, to create something for them, right, put it on the altar. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much, you know, basics. So I think that's pretty much it. If I forgot anything, or if y'all have any questions, put them in the comments. As before, you know, if you have anything that you would like to share with others in this, you know, tribe about, you know, ancestors and all that good stuff, feel free to put it in the comments, okay? And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know down in the comments what other videos you would like to see here on Summertime Tarot, okay? But yeah, before you go, right, if you're interested in booking a personal reading, the link for summertimetarot.com is in the description box. Also, doing giveaways, right? The information is in the description box. Everything you need to know is in the description box below, right? I truly appreciate you, and I hope to see you soon. Peace out.